What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a brand new review for Power Book 4 for Season 2, episode number 4, you guys. The episode is titled The Devils and the Detail, you guys. So, before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and please stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning your post notifications on, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss Power Book 4 Force, shall we? All right, guys, so this episode, let's start up with the feds. We're going to do it, I think we're going to do this the same way every week. The feds, the Flynns, and Jannard, Tommy, and Diamond. So, the feds, they remember last week they found out about Little K. Now, this week, they are trying to go over what they have. They don't have anything with Little K. They don't have any witnesses, and they don't have any suspects. And I was like, really, Bobby? You don't have not one suspect? You said it yourself in last week's episode. You said it, that even when you were talking to his grandmother, that you felt like CBI would retaliate, but you ain't got no witness. Well, you ain't got no suspects. I was like, okay, I mean, I guess I can see that you don't have any witnesses, but you definitely got some suspects. And prime suspect should be Jannard. Like, really? But okay, I'm gonna let that slide. So they're talking about, Lil Kane's grandmother and how they feel like she knows something, but she's afraid to say something. And that's odd as well, because Grandma even told Jannard that if something happens to her grandson, she could easily point him out in the lineup. But I don't think she meant that. I think she was trying to scare him in that particular moment, and it worked then. But we saw what happened with Jannard, right? So they also are still, have this task force trying to, dig up information on Tommy, right? So what they want to do is they want to have eyes and ears on Tommy so that way they know everything about him and what he's doing. Also, what they're going to do is they're going to be going to some CBI territory so that they can really, so they can wrangle some people in with them, and with the hopes that these people that they wrangle in will get them up to the top, right? Lead them to Diamond, Tommy, Jannard, whoever, right? And I was like, good luck with that. I mean, if it's guys that, are fickle, then yeah, you would have that. So we see the feds. So they're watching Tommy. So you guys remember Tommy has been talking about giving Maria a driving lesson, right? So we see them doing a driving lesson in that truck that Tommy is renting. And, it's a stick shift car, right? And, Tommy said to her, if you can drive a stick, you can drive anything, right? Which is actually true. That is actually, when I learned how to drive, my mom drove a stick shift car, and I learned how to drive using that stick shift car. But she was like, because it's easy to get it out. You have to listen to the car will tell you when it's time to switch the gears, right? But I was like, I don't have time for this. Just put me in an automatic car because I'm not driving your car. Although I know that a stick shift is great on gas, it just ain't for me, right? So come to find out, she could drive, just not like that, right? And when she tried to beat that train, I was like, girl, you are crazy. But I see you and your brother have some things in common, right? So the feds were taking pictures of them, and so when she drove out of the parking lot, they followed in behind her. But when she chased that, tried to beat that train, well, ain't no tried to. She beat the train, but narrowly she beat that train, right? So, what happened after that? The feds, they weren't able to follow them because, of course, train, right? So then we see as Tommy pulled up to one of the spots for, where CBI does business, right? And he saw as Bobby and the rest of the feds had the guys wrangled up. So Tommy is worried about this, what's going to go on with this, right? So we then see as they went back and they showed Bobby all the stuff that they had, and they showed Bobby this, the steals of Tommy and Maria, and they feel like this is going to be the thing that brings Tommy down, and CBI as well. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess if that's what y'all think, then it is what it is, right? It is what the hell it is. So we also see, you guys remember last season that party, which wasn't in a party of like one or two people, where the DJ got taken out by Tommy, right? Well, they brought that girl in, and she is telling them who took that guy out, the DJ out. She said it was Victor, and Stacy was like, "So you don't recognize any other faces on here?" And then she pointed directly at Tommy. She was like, "I don't recognize him, but you can ask Fat Tony if he does." And they were like, "Who is Fat Tony?" She was like, Fat Tony was his bodyguard or something like that, right?" So that's that. That is that. So let's pause here and move over to the Flynn family. All right, you guys. So Claudia and Victor, we see those two talking, right? So Claudia is trying to work on a deal with the Serbs to basically get them from underneath Walter, right? So she's saying that she has people who they'll give her, all the drugs that she wants, just as long as she can unload it, right? But she needs, and excuse me, y'all, for burping in y'all face. So she says that she needs what is his name, Victor, for the distribution, right? And Victor's like, I'm tired of being fucked over by you and by Dad. So the answer is a resounding no, right? So she's telling him, the things that you're doing, you're being stupid, basically. And she's like, go check out Gloria's bar. So yeah, he definitely went to go check out Gloria's bar, and when he checked out Gloria's bar has been turned into a whole strip club. Like, I mean, literally a strip club. And then, you see one woman on her knees and giving some sloppy toppy. I was like, oh, wow. And it was out in the open, mind you. I was like, wow. Wow. And, Victor did the fool. I was like, Victor, I don't think that man that you punching in the face got anything to do with this. This is all your father. Like, you mad at the wrong person, right? So we see Polly. So Polly went to go talk to Brendan, and you guys remember Brendan had given Walter that timeline to give them the money for losing all those men, right? So Polly went to Brendan and presented Brendan with some money, and basically told Brendan that Walter don't got the money, that he ain't got it like that. So I'm coming to you asking for you to, consider giving an extension since he doesn't have it like that. And so Brenda was like, you know what? I'll think about it. So we see Claudia. So Claudia is talking to Merkovich, right? And Claudia is trying to work a deal out with Merkovich. And Merkovich is telling Claudia, like, when it comes to the Flynns, yeah, the Flynns, that is a sinking ship. And the only person who doesn't know that, obviously, is you. So she was like, well, here's the thing. Right now, it looks like Jannard and Diamond are separated, right? But word on the street is that they're not really separated. The word on the street is that they are working together, and they even got people in prison. They got the prison system locked down as well. And I was thinking to myself when she said that, I was like, ain't nobody gonna put. I was thinking to myself in my head, so nobody's put. Oh, that's how they did it. I was about to say nobody put two and two together about the fact that Tommy and Diamond are, selling drugs in the prison. But I just literally remembered it, that they went to Miguel and talked to Miguel about that. But I thought Miguel said he would have to see. I guess maybe Miguel went on ahead and went with it. I don't remember. Huh. I don't remember. But I know you guys will correct me in the comment section as well. But yeah, That's what Claudia said to her, right? So we see Walter. So he's talking to Brendan as well, right? And Walter is trying to paint to Brendan that, everything is good, business is good. He got the money, so he gonna be able to pay him, right? And Brendan had to hit him with a one hit quitter. Like, hey, you trying to tell me that business is expanding and all this stuff, but your boy Polly came to me, gave me some money, and asked me to give you an extension, basically. So, yeah, that dribble drabble that you're giving me, I know it's all words, right? So after that, Walter pulled up on Polly, upset at Polly. I'm like, but he saved your ass because if you don't have the money, what are you going to do? Like, I was just hella confused by that. So Walter, when he went to go see Polly, he fired Polly, and he told Polly the only reason why he's not taking him out is because of his children. And I was like, oh, is that it? Because what you don't know is that your children are plotting against you right about now, sir. But hey, go for it. Go for it. So we do see Victor and Claudia. So they're talking. So at this point, they've decided that they're going to be working with the Serbs to take out their father. I was like, wow, that's terrible. But I don't feel anything about it. Walter is sexist, misogynistic, and a racist, right? So we don't really give two rats of an ass. But that's it for the Flames, you guys. So we're going to pause right here, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to wrap up the episode with Diamond, Jannard, and Tommy down. All right, you guys, so this episode, it opens up with Jannard, and Jannard is once again still high as hell. I was like, wow. He was high and delusional because at one point, he thought he saw Lil K dangling from a rope. I was like, wow, you're really that high. So we also saw Tommy. So Tommy, which I've already talked about the fact that Tommy and Maria had went out for that driving lesson, right? So with you guys, I forgot last week that I did not mention the fact that Diamond was helping that young boy Dion after he got yoked up by those boys, right? I forgot to mention that in last week's episode. So this week's episode, Dion's mom, Gianna, came to the shop and she's asking Diamond, like, are you serious about training my son? And Diamond said, yeah. So he told her where to, bring little Dion to a gym, right? Excuse me, y'all. With Jannard, you guys, Jannard is playing a really dangerous game. I will say that, right? So he is packaging his product, but with the product, he's putting baby powder in it. So I'm like, so you're stepping on your own product? How is that good for business? Like, I was really confused by that. I'm like, that is not good for your business, because if people think that you're giving them stuff that is stepped on, people ain't gonna want to do no business with you. And that's gonna kill business. And then you got to deal with somebody like a Miguel. So I was like, I don't know if that's a good thing for your business, sir. I just don't think that that's a good thing for your business. But hey, do what you got to do, right? So he got a text message from Miguel. No, actually got a text message from the Serbs about payment. I'm like, you have so many issues on your hands. You took out Lil K. You got the Serbs who are basically taking money from you. Then you got Miguel's on. You got three things on top of you. Why would you stack on that? Why would you stack onto it? I just didn't get it, right? I had no idea why he did that. So after the driving lesson with Tommy and Maria, they went to the zoo, right? All right, yeah. So while Tommy and Maria were at the zoo, Tommy noticed this guy, right? And what he noticed was there was a tattoo on the guy's neck. So Tommy went to the bathroom at one point and he realized that the guy worked for Rojas. And the guy even said that he worked for Rojas. So Tommy took that guy out in the bathroom. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. If you do what you got to do. He left the body in the bathroom. And yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I have nothing to say about that. So when Tommy got back to Maria, he told Maria that, it was a situation with D-Mac, so he had to go handle it. She was like, okay, understandable, right? So we see D-Mac, right? So D-Mac is on the basketball court with his homie, what is that, Marshall, right? And Marshall is giving D-Mac the lowdown about what's going on with CBI and with treason, right? And how treason is on the low end of the totem pole, and Diamond and Tommy are, kind of making bank, right? And D-Mac feels like, he's not being utilized well by his uncle Tommy. And I was like, but little boy, you just got, pow recently, right? So we see Diamond. So Diamond is being stuck up by Sheamus once again. And I was like, wow, we ain't saw Sheamus. It's 4 episodes in and we just now saw Sheamus. I forgot. I have forgot all about Sheamus. I have forgot about Sheamus and that young girl from that party last season until the open. So when it says previously on Power, I was like, oh, I forgot all about this stuff, right? So Sheamus is telling Diamond that he needs $50,000 from him because you guys know his sister. And Diamond was like, our business is done. And Sheamus was like, no, it's not. He said, our business is not done. And he told him that what'll happen is, if you don't give me the money, then if you don't give me the money, then I'm gonna make you, he gonna make it hard for him with his PO. So Tommy noticed, came and saw. So he asked Diamond, like, what is going on here? Diamond came up with a lie, saying that guy is, a cop who wants him to give, give out haircuts to the cops on Sundays or something like that, right? So then Tommy told him about the situation with Rojas. So he's like, I'll do, I'm gonna talk to old girl, get everything squared away over there with Rojas and everybody, and we'll be fine, right? So then we see D-Mac. So D-Mac was talking to Tommy and telling Tommy how, he feels like he needs to utilize him more in the business. And Tommy was like, he said, if you don't, then he'll go work for treason. And Tommy was like, if you do that, you'll really feel the wrath of Uncle Tommy. So speaking of D-Mac, Jesus, excuse me, y'all. Speaking of D-Mac, you guys, so we see D-Mac. So D-Mac is trying to get his little Mac on with a little girl, right? And we see Diamond. So Diamond and Dion, they are in the boxing gym and they're practicing, right? And Diamond is letting Dion know why he's gotten into boxing, right? It was his dad. It was because of how abusive his dad was. So it was either learn how to fight and stuff to defend himself, or be subjected to that, right? So then we see Jannard. So Jannard got a text message earlier in the episode from Miguel, who told him that he missed the re-up, right? So Jannard had told Miguel about the Serbs taxing him and how he needs a little extra time. So Miguel was about ready to, jack up Jannard. Only thing that saved Jannard was the fact that Maria came in with his, his medicine for his diabetes, right? And he let him go. So after that, we see Diamond. So Diamond got in the car with Sheamus, gave Sheamus some money, right? And Sheamus now wants 25,000 more dollars. I was like, wait a minute, sir, you've been a little bit greedy. So Tommy saw Diamond get in the car, and then Tommy followed Diamond at one point. He was like, I don't know how y'all handle snitches out here in Chicago. And Diamond was like, I'm not a snitch. So Diamond eventually told Tommy what's going on with Sheamus, right? So Tommy has a plan for Sheamus, the prison as well. So he did tell Tommy, Tommy told him to set up a meeting with Sheamus, and he also said go talk to the lawyer, right? You guys, I think I may have gotten ahead of I think I didn't put this in the notes, but there was one scene with Jannard and Shanti. I don't necessarily know if I trust Shanti, because Jannard had told Shanti that he was the one that took out Lil K. She don't feel like it's good for business, which I will agree with her on that. But the way she was talking and acting, I was like, it's something not right about her. It's something very off about Miss Shanti, right? Like, I feel like she would stab Jannard in the back. That's my thought process, right? So we see Jannard. So he is once again trying to, push off these drugs that he has, that he's put baby powder in, right? So one of the boys came up to him asking him about Lil K. He was like, he don't know where Lil K is. Lil K is ducking and dodging him. So then they found out via social media that Lil K is no longer among the land of the living, right? And so now they want to go out and they want to, take out whoever did this to Lil K. And so Jannar said it was me. And I was like, oh, that's what we doing. So him and old boy got into a fight with each other. And old boy and his people that had came in to question Jannar, once they found that out, they were like, fuck treason and we out, right? So that was that. So after that, we seen Diamond. So Diamond found out about the task force from the lawyer from last week's episode that talked to Rojas, right? So she's telling him she doesn't know, all that she knows is what she's telling him. So what he might want to do is try to get somebody that's in CPD that can give him, information, more information on what she's able to provide, right? So we see him, he texts Tommy about this meeting with Seamus, right? So Tommy and Diamond met up with Seamus, and what they were gonna do was they were gonna tell Seamus that you work for us, basically, right? You tell us what you know. And so Seamus pulled a gun out on both of them, and D-Mac came down and just popped Seamus. I was like, oh my God, little boy, what did you do that for? So now they're looking like, what the hell are we gonna do now? I was like, exactly, what are y'all gonna do now? But that was it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Force, you guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, and until the next time, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.